Ooh, what is going on, my friends? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dave Sharpe, and this is Wake Up Legendary. If you have not woken up legendary so far today, you are now. And we are going to have a good time. We're going to be talking to my friend Nate Ryan, who's going to be talking and teaching us how to leverage social media to grow a personal brand fast. Let's get into this, folks. Nate, what up, buddy?
Hey, how's everything going?
Oh, bro, it couldn't be better, man. It could, but it's going pretty damn good. How about yourself?
It's going good. It's early over here, but feeling super productive. Got a lot done already this morning. So
where are you at?
Right. I'm over in Portland, Oregon, far west coast. So
P-Town, baby.
Yep.
I love it, man. Are you a native there?
Yeah, I've been born and raised in Portland, Oregon. Moved up into like Vancouver, Washington in like 2006, which is like 15 minutes outside of Portland. So I still say I live in Portland, even though I don't.
Nice. Cool, man. So, how did you get started and find, legendary? Give us a little bit about your little kind of backstory on who Nate Ryan is, how you got started online, and then eventually what led you to us in the nutshell version. You asked me to do that. I'm 45 minutes just to get warmed up. So give us the nutshell version of who Nate Ryan is and what led you to this point.
All right. Yeah. So basically, it was like right after my daughter was born. I was working in construction. That's really the only field I ever worked in. And then after she was born, I was looking for different opportunities. And I stumbled into, courses and online educational material. So I started with Amazon FBA. That's where I initially started my online business. And when I say start, I mean, I got shiny object syndrome very bad and jumped to another opportunity before I ever even shipped any products. And then I dove into the whole social media marketing agency. That was the really trending business model at that time. And I did pretty good at that for a while. I was running Facebook ads for chiropractic clinics in my area, but I made some major mistakes and stopped putting any energy into continuing to acquire clients. But throughout that journey of doing that for business owners, I realized the opportunities with affiliate marketing because I was getting, signups through other things at that time from the business owners. And that at that point, I kind of went all in with affiliate marketing and tried pretty much everything under the sun, paid ads, all sorts of different stuff, blogging. I have a massive blog. But I actually didn't stumble across Legendary. Like I think for a lot of people, especially recently, I've been hearing of Legendary for the last few years now because I've been in the online space for, I don't know, probably about 4 years.
Yeah.
And I've heard about it, but I never actually took part until about January. So I took it later on in my journey, but it's definitely eye-opening. I spent a lot of time doing the wrong things, I guess you could say, and focusing on a lot of poor strategies.
For example, like what? Like give us some context so we can understand a little bit more about like what was some of the things that you were doing that then light bulbs went off and you were like, okay, I'm going to start trying to do this more. Give us a little bit more context.
Right. So I think a big thing for me is for a long time I was chasing, very low ticket products. Had no real strategy. It was just kind of like throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it was going to work. No real plan of action as far as like treating it like an actual business. And I had no idea what I was doing when I was running paid ads, really, to be honest. So I was super negative in the red. I was running paid ads to products that weren't converting. And I got into a bad habit of thinking the more money I poured in, the more, chances of my success would increase. And I ended up burning through my savings account doing that at the time. And then I blogged for an extremely long time. And then I ended up going down this rabbit hole of writing dozens of articles without any buyer's intent. So I wrote like weird one-off blog posts that didn't have any like I've been in the online marketing space for a few years. And looking back, I've literally never Googled anything that I wrote blog posts about. Um, so that, big mistakes like that, just little things that I didn't necessarily see at the time until, interacting with other people that are having success or getting in proven systems and trainings and stuff like that. Kind of like an aha moment. And then really switching and transitioning over to more towards like a high ticket model is where my business really changed because, obviously as a business owner, that allows you to generate the revenue in the front end. So quite a few mistakes, but
all right. Yeah, that makes sense, dude. We got some fans on here of you, bro. So where do people know you from? So you're doing TikTok. You've got a TikTok, you've got a TikTok profile. You've got a YouTube profile. I guess you're also doing some Facebook marketing. Is that right? So talk us through a little bit about kind of what you're doing now that is working well for you.
So my business really started to change when I started leveraging Facebook personally.
Okay.
Because I was traditionally blogging and things like that, and they were kind of slow by nature. You create a piece of content, you kind of just wait. So the Facebook model really appealed to me because I could be very proactive. I could go, establish rapport, provide value to people. So right now I'm kind of everywhere, but it wasn't always like that. I started when I got to the point where my blog was I was paying a copywriter to do my blog posts.
Yeah.
Then I put all my focus into doing Facebook. And then I started mixing in other things as long as they didn't overwhelm me, or, I could do that without feeling overwhelmed. So right now I'm virtually everywhere. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, blog, Facebook, my own group.
Okay. So people know you from kind of all over, but you really started with Facebook.
Yeah, that's where my business changed, was when I started to leverage Facebook.
Well, that's cool because we have a Facebook. This is one of the strategies that we teach. Is that cold brew?
No, it's just hot in a.
Oh, I got you. So it looks strong. Looks like some mud, dude. Looks like you got some of that, that thick down on the bottom that's just chilling. You know what I mean? That just is great, right? It's kind of like you sip that kind of like that diluted on the top, and then it kind of slowly kicks in. But then when you get down to the bottom, because all that shit settled down to the bottom, that mud, and then you hit that, and it's like, right? It's like zing. It's like your day really gets started. So this is one of the models that we teach Facebook, but it's a tricky model because it's hard. I think it's hard for brand new people to actually really provide value and attract people on Facebook. So let's talk a little bit about sort of what you started doing that changed things for you. To take us through a bit of the strategy and kind of how you approach it, generate leads and then actually monetize the strategy.
So without a lot, in my opinion, a lot of people, when they start with organic, there's like one component that they miss a lot. For some reason, people, when they get the notion, they go into other groups and they poach leads or like new people. That's like, for some reason, the strategy. But the way that I like to look at organic Facebook is establishing omnipresence. So the ultimate goal is to, even if, a lot of people when they're starting, they might not feel like they can provide value, but you can always be the expert to like a previous version of yourself. So someone who doesn't know or hasn't built their sales funnel or some type of component, if you go in and you're interacting in other groups and you're answering their questions, you're genuinely helping them, without any type of sale in mind, you're detaching from any type of, monetary value.
Yeah.
You're going to build those genuine connections. And over time, your friends list will accumulate, your friends list will start to build up. And then you start mixing in content on your profile, value posts that are talking about, it's all about being personable. For me on Facebook is building those genuine connections, establishing rapport. And then what I would refer to as like your bread and butter is going to be like lead gen posts. So putting out short form lead generation content. Say, for example, you know, I just put out a organic Facebook cheat sheet. Who wants access?
Right.
And then those leads are going to come to you versus, you know, you're spamming people and you're doing cold outreach and you're DMing people who don't even know you.
Right.
They are raising their hand. They're coming to you. And that's going to be a big shift for a lot of people because the whole dynamic of the conversation is different.
Yes, agreed. So, how are you getting people onto your friends list so they can see the posts that you then post on your wall?
Right. So you can go out to like fan pages. You can go into other Facebook groups, and you can post content. You know, value-based content. You can't necessarily go into other groups and like post, you know, screenshots or lead generation content, but go into other Facebook groups and interact and build genuine connections. And either they'll add you or you can add them, but don't, you know, not necessarily like spam adding. I want to make that clear. Not just like adding a ton of people you don't know.
Right. Well, that I mean, if you go into a group nowadays with Facebook and you just add a bunch of people that you don't know, like, and you do it like a, you do it like a robot, like where you just go down a list and you just add a bunch of people. Like Facebook will actually block your account. You know what I mean? Like they'll put you in like what a lot of marketers call Facebook jail because they don't want you to do that. They especially if you're on a personal profile. Like you have to understand, I think when we talk about Facebook marketing, you guys have to understand how Facebook looks at you and how they want you to interact with their platform, especially if you're on a personal profile. Okay. Facebook doesn't want you marketing and doing business on your personal profile. Why? Well, here's why. Because they want you to have a business profile, which gets shit for organic reach. Okay. And then when your organic free posts that you're posting on Facebook don't reach anybody, they want you to pay for paid ads. Okay. Now I know we're on Facebook right now and I'm lifting up their skirt, but can we just be real here and not bullshit each other and just this is a game of cat and mouse. Marketing is cat and mouse. And somebody's always going to be moving the cheese. You know what I mean? These platforms are always moving the cheese. Okay. So Facebook doesn't want you to monetize your personal profile. So you can't look like you're just adding people, like you're trying to build up a list of people to market to, or like you're trying to generate leads. They also don't want robots. They don't like robots, right? They want people to interact organically and genuinely. So if your behavior of adding, just going to a group and just adding everybody who's new in the group or whatever, you risk Facebook flagging your account and saying, this looks like a robot, or this looks like somebody who's just up to no good, right? And they'll flag your account. They'll put you in Facebook jail, which means you can't post, you can't private message, you can't do anything. So these are, for those of you who are new and kind of want to avoid some of the pitfalls, these are the facts. These are this is kind of how you have to think about this game. Anything that you would add to that, Ryan?
Or yeah, I would go like,
you got two first names there, and my dyslexia kicked in there for a second.
It happens all the time.
Sorry.
So the biggest thing, like you just mentioned, quality over quantity. It's more beneficial to have a very targeted friends list. You know, even though Facebook allows you to have 5,000 friends, if none of those people are interested, or you don't have any type of like connection with those people, it's a waste. You know, and then just understanding that everybody on your friends list is going to be at a different level. You know, there's some people that might not know you. There's going to be some people that do. And then there's going to be some people that are like, you know, have been watching your content or believe in you. So just understanding that everybody's going to be at a different level based on your interactions. But 100% Facebook, if you're using your profile, you can't like do things like post links and stuff like that because, as Dave mentioned, Facebook wants to get paid. That's how they make money. They want to keep people on their platform. So you have to, do it in a way that keeps people on their platform, engage on other people's posts, comment and actually be a person, so.
Yeah, be a real person, right? I mean, don't look like a robot. So what most people do on Facebook, which gets them sort of which doesn't allow them really to have the success that they want or wish for. And Facebook can be a really good place to kind of build, to get straight to the meat and potatoes of interacting with actual potential prospects, right? And the truth is that everybody always says build relationships and don't focus on selling but here's the thing, let's just be real about it. Obviously you're building your business because you want to make a profit, you want to sell things, you want to match the right person with the right product if you can. And if you can facilitate that, then you're going to earn a commission. But it's fascinating. I see some people in the comments who are like going back and forth with each other. And it's like, why are you doing that? We're literally dropping gold right now. It's fascinating why people would waste their time tuning into a live to just jabber with people in the comments. Say just blows my mind. And you guys wonder why you don't, why you're chasing your tail. It's like, why are you wasting time talking BS with people? It's just like, get serious about your business. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to spend time on this show, like, soak up this information. All right, I'm done. I'll step down off of my soapbox. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to see what's coming through. Let me focus exclude. Sometimes it's like distractions, man. You know what I mean? Like like a 99.9% of my life is just constantly cutting out distractions, man. Distractions. And I'm telling you, the more successful you get, the more distractions you get. People talking shit, people nipping at your heels, people wanting to take your spot, people and it's just like, it's like, clear the way, baby, because I'm focused, man, So back to what I was talking about, with Facebook, there's a disconnect. How do I get people to, how do I build these, how do I add value to somebody, and eventually have a chance to be able to earn a commission from facilitating a connection between their need and the solution that I know about? I'm saying that versus just sell them something, right? Kind of reminds me of the Winnie the Pooh meme, to where it's like, he's like, you can say something one way and just be regular Pooh, but you can say it more sophisticated and be like the fancy Pooh who's sipping the tea out of he's like, he's like, my favorite meme was eat a dick. And then it's like, that's the regular Winnie the Pooh. And then it's like, eat a Richard would be the more fancy Winnie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these Winnie the Pooh memes, but they're hilarious, man. Oh, here it is right here, dude. Here it is. Let me just show you these Winnie the Pooh memes. They're just so funny. This is value you can add to people's lives. Look at these. These are the Winnie the Pooh memes that I sleeping around all day and do nothing, right? Social distancing. Oh man, it's these are great. Okay. Cream de la pina. it's never, what? Excuse me, I beg your pardon. Winnie the Pooh in these memes can actually tell us how to level up our social sophistication here. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. So, what I recommend that people do, and you tell me, I'll pass the baton over to you here in a sec, but is to go into Facebook groups, various groups, and both post valuable stuff, right? Post stories and inspiration. Get like what would be helpful to this group with no intention of trying to like get anything. And what's going to happen is if I post something that's valuable enough, I'm going to start getting friend requests. That's how these platforms work, right? It's how Reddit works. It's how it's not how Instagram works. It's how Reddit works, which is another kind of typing word platform. It's how Facebook works. You go into these various groups that have thousands or tens of thousands of people. And if you put a little bit of effort into a valuable post, you stand out like a hero amongst the average man, right? And so you will get a flood of friend requests. And then you can also friend request a couple of people, particularly if they comment on your post. Because like you said, it's important, dude. You get 5,000 people on your personal Facebook profile. So you don't want to waste those. Sure, more can follow you. You can have unlimited people follow you. But that initial 5,000, you don't want to just add a bunch of people who may not be people who are going to respond to your post that you post on your wall later on, right? So I want to go into these groups and I want to post value post. I also, this is another thing, and David Dill, who's crushing on Twitter, said this: the number one way that he built up his business that's literally a full-time affiliate income on Twitter is by commenting valuable, interesting comments on popular posts with maybe other influencers in your niche or something like that. What do people do? Well, when they see that valuable comment, they're going to go over, they're going to go to your profile on Twitter, they're going to follow you on Facebook, they're going to friend request you. That is how. And then, well, Dave, how do I sell people? How do I make money? Well, later, daily, one to two times per day, I'm going to post something on my Facebook wall. And now all of a sudden, I can post anything I want on my wall, right? I can post value with a call to action. I can straight pitch. I can go live, whatever. I can invite people to a webinar. I can invite them to opt into my email list. I can do whatever I want. It's my wall. But now, since these people are all connected with me and they friend requested me, guess what? They're going to see my post on their public timeline as they're scrolling through. And that is how I then have an opportunity to get them in my inbox, or I have an opportunity to get them on my webinar. I mean, it's really simple. It's really powerful. But what I just laid out is the way to the promised land on Facebook. Nate, what would you add to that?
I definitely agree with. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is getting to the point where people are adding you. And just to piggyback on that even a little bit more, when people are asking questions inside of groups, a lot of the time they won't do a lot of research. So even if you don't know the question or you don't know the answer, you can go do the research. You can provide a super valuable comment. If they ask something, you can give as much information as possible. Because then that connection is going to spark, and then they're likely to add you too. But it really is, it's not a crazy process, and it definitely gets overlooked. But I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. I mean, that's basically how it works as a whole, is, providing value in groups, establishing omnipresence, which is the art of being everywhere, because as Dave mentioned, if you put a valuable post out inside of a group and people are commenting, and then imagine someone's group's growing by 500 people every day, and you just put a post out in there, if people are commenting, that's going to stay at the top of that group. So every time people are jumping into that group, they see your profile picture, they see you, they see what you're doing. So it's a quick way to, get results, but it's also a long-term play as well. I know that's really contradictory to say it like that, but
it will, and people see your stuff. Like, check this out. So say I make a really valuable post in a couple of groups, and say you and I are already connected, bro. Say I'm the more experienced marketer, and I've kind of figured this out, and this strategy of Facebook is sort of how I'm marketing. So say you're kind of a new person who is a potential customer for me in the future. We'll say that you've seen a couple of my posts in a group somewhere, and you reached out and friend requested me. Now, say today on a Friday, I make a post in a Facebook group, but I also make a post on my public timeline. So the chances are of you seeing one of my posts right as soon as you log into Facebook, right there at the top of the timeline, without even needing to go log into that group. Because the truth is, Nate, most people don't I mean, I don't know, let me know in the comments. Do you guys go to groups, or do you just go to your public timeline and just scroll through your public timeline and you see content from the groups that you're more active in? And of course, you're going to see posts from those groups that are getting more comments and more engagement, because Facebook wants to show you the things that they think are the most relevant or the most engaging, right? So when you say the omnipresence, is that kind of what you're talking about, is being kind of getting eventually connected with people, meaning you're friended, and then they're seeing your post on their public timeline, they're seeing your post in various groups, they're just kind of seeing you everywhere and seeing your post all over Facebook?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, they're seeing your profile, they're seeing your content, because that's how Facebook's going to work. Is, if you're active, it's going to feed you more of what it thinks you want to see. So if you're actively engaging in groups, it's going to show you posts from that group. If you're commenting on my stuff, you're going to see even more of my content.
Yes.
So, the omnipresence is because the ultimate goal is to establish yourself as a leader. And I'm not trying to say that in a way that like intimidates people who are just starting, because no matter where you're at in your journey, you can still be the expert to someone. That's why I mentioned earlier, selling to a previous version of yourself usually works out. That's who your customer avatar is going to be. But the goal with the omnipresence in the art of being everywhere and having them see you everywhere is because people are going to start noticing what you're doing. They're going to start looking at you. Okay, this person knows what they're talking about. Oh my goodness, that valuable content. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to watch what he's doing. It's all about making people feel connected by telling your story, sharing some mistakes, some breakthroughs you've had, anything in your online business. A really good exercise is like writing down your entire story, and then, creating content all geared towards different subjects, because that's the goal, is to make people feel connected to you and then start seeing you as the authoritative figure and establishing know, like, and trust. Because if those three things are in place, they're going to believe in what you're recommending them to. When you get into a sales opportunity and you're talking about, you're providing a solution or a transformation that's going to get them to where they want to go, they're going to be more inclined to believe that, because they already trust you. They believe in you. They've seen your content. They know a little bit about who you are. So there's a couple elements there,
and you can build know, like, and trust without even talking to anybody. That's the kind of powerful thing about like Facebook and TikTok and all these social media platforms, is it's the same phenomenon that happens with actors and sort of celebrities when you watch them on the quote big screen. Well, people are watching you on their screen. It's the same thing, right? So you become, even if they're just watching you and you guys never talk, the ultimate thing that you want to happen is when you eventually have a conversation in the direct message with somebody, meaning you reach out to them or they reach out to you, you want them to be blown away that they're talking to you, that you actually responded, that they're actually having a conversation with you, because they've been looking at your content on Facebook and they've been reading your stuff or looking at your pictures or watching your videos. Here's how to know that you're onto something. If people begin to react to them having a one-on-one conversation, or even you responding to an individual comment, but particularly in one-on-one, if they're surprised that you actually answered their question, or you responded to their message, or that you reached out to them, how you know that you're just being a spammer and not really delivering any value and just being a shark in the comments is if you are reaching out to people and they're like, what do you want? They're skeptical. People are blocking you on Facebook. That's how you know you've been taught Facebook marketing by a guru or a goblin, right? One of these wannabe assholes out here who just, God, they give us all a bad name, dude. They make us look bad, bro. You know, and then we get coupled into this big bucket with these idiots who are teaching people to like go into, you know, Facebook groups and add everybody who's new and direct message them and try to seed doubt in what they're doing. Like we have people who come into our Facebook groups and they try to hit up like new people and be like, how's it going with Legendary? You know, oh, well, here's what I didn't like about it. And they try to seed doubt and then get somebody to, you know, go and attend their webinar, buy their thing or join their family or whatever. And it's just like, guys, don't fall for that bullshit. I mean, come on. These are people who are being the blind leading the blind. You know what I mean? What we are talking about here, myself and Nate, is how to build an actual business. Here's another rule is that if what I'm saying in direct message, and I actually build my business like this across the board, if I wouldn't want what I'm saying plastered on the front page of the newspaper or plastered on the front page of my Facebook profile for everybody in the world to see, then I'm not going to type it in a private message. Like if I'm not proud enough, if what I'm doing in my direct message to people is shameful and manipulative, and it feels dirty and it feels sketchy and it feels schemy, then it ain't sustainable. Stop doing it immediately. And if you want to do Facebook marketing, do it the way that we teach in the blueprints. Do it in the way that Nate and I are talking about it right now. So what else would you add to the Facebook strategy? Anything else that would be helpful or to either avoid or to do or that's worked well for you?
Yeah, so just even to piggyback on that a little bit more is, you know, if you do have to do it like as we're talking about, especially because people's walls are usually 10 feet high because you do have a ton of people who are doing it poorly, incorrectly. You know, you have people DMing, you know, 7-figure affiliates asking them what their problem is before they even like get to know them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's what Facebook's about. It's about being personable. And as Dave was talking about a little bit is, you know, people are going to be consuming your content. So that's being genuine. People are going to be watching you. And that's the goal, is to get to the point where, you know, even if someone never interacts, you know, they're going to feel like they know you. The goal is by the time you guys do interact in a DM or something like that, they already feel like they understand you, and stuff like that. And then a big thing is, if someone doesn't have a problem, don't try to provide a solution, and, you know, don't discredit other people's stuff, you know, especially if you're in other groups and then you're in there and you're just like pooping on whatever someone else is doing. They don't want to be told what they're doing is wrong. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody, you know, you can't, if someone tells you that in person, you know, they're going to get immediately closed off. So you can't necessarily go, you know, it's a big part of it is going into the conversations in a different mindset, not necessarily just trying to push a sale, you know, providing value, establishing a genuine connection. And then just a couple tips for actually doing it, and, you know, just sharing your story and like actually planning out the type of content that you're doing. So a big habit that I got into when I first started was just putting out long form educational posts, and giving away as much, you know, value as I could, telling them everything inside my posts. So mix in lead generation content that's actually going to extrapolate your leads from your friends list, pull them to you, and ask them, you know, getting them raising their hands, stuff like that. So that would just be a couple quick tips and tricks, but also at the same time, don't be afraid to provide solutions or attempt to make sales, make offers, you know, because you are providing a transformation or a solution to somebody. You know, you're not just selling some trinket or something like that. So the worst thing that's going to happen is someone will say no. But if you don't ask, they're going to say no anyways. It's already a no. So there's that fine line between coming across like you're just pushing offers and you're not actually providing value. You just have to be aware of where the customer is with you, where the relationship's at. But that would just be my couple quick recommendations as far as you know, leveraging Facebook for you know, affiliate marketing, building a personal brand.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great tips. I wanted to throw this also in there is yeah, don't badmouth people, man. God, you know, I've seen this happen even a bit lately. And you end up just looking like an asshole, you know, honestly. Particularly if you're bad. I mean, there's been some people lately, which I don't really pay much attention to it, but it's like they badmouth Legendary, and it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. It's like, you just look like an asshole, you know. You really do. And this has been proven once again. I'm debating whether I how much time I want to spend calling certain people out, but you know, it usually, when people are calling people out, they're hiding something sketchy that they're doing. You know what I mean? And it's actually pretty fascinating, and it never seems to fail, right? And so, you know, if people are approaching you in this manner, beware. But also understand, in my 10 years of being in this business, I've had so many people take shots at me, and I have always taken the high road and not gotten into, and also never done negative marketing like a politician. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so slimy. And it's been incredible. You know, it's just such a better way to live, in a better way to market, because you look so much more professional and you don't look desperate.
Right.
You don't look desperate when you're bad mouthing people. Oh, it's just so pathetic and desperate looking. And most of the time you get made to look like a fool when you don't know what you're talking about. Or you don't even know about who you're talking about, who you're bad mouthing, you know. In terms of transitioning and getting into TikTok as well, you've got 25,000 followers at the time of this recording over on TikTok. So you're serious about this shit. I mean, you're doing Facebook organic, you're doing TikTok, you're building YouTube. I mean, this isn't a game. I can see you've got, you know, books all over your shelf. I mean, you're nerding out on this like I am. You kind of remind me a bit of me once I got into this, man. When I was 25 when I got it. I was 25, 26 when I got into this back in 2009, 2010. You know, I just nerded out. I get obsessed, and then I go to extremes with things. I'm either all out or all in, but I just have been all in with this, and yeah, I guess it's become a career. It's kind of weird to say that, because I didn't go to college for it, you know, and I didn't say, oh, this is going to be my career, you know, but it has become a career for me, and it's made me a lot of money and allowed me to help a lot of people. But yeah, you're on these various platforms, and you're not really screwing around. So what else? At what point did you transition and start marketing on other platforms? Because sometimes that can be overwhelming for people. Can you walk us through a bit of that process?
So I am full-time. I have been full-time for quite a while. So that's one reason why, you know, when I was still working full-time, because, you know, for the first 2 years of me in the affiliate marketing space, I was still working a full-time job, you know, juggling being a single dad with my daughter, things like that. So I really focused on one platform when I was working a job, because, you're working 40 hours a week. There's, you're already making, especially if you're just learning, you're already a bunch of new concepts, things you're trying to learn, and then, you're juggling life. So I didn't start mixing in other platforms until I got to the point where, it became a routine, where it became almost like easy, okay, I'm going to put out 3 YouTube videos this week. Okay, I got 3 weeks of YouTube videos recorded. Okay, well then what am I going to do for the next 3 weeks? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to batch 3 weeks worth of Facebook posts. So then batch creating content was a lifesaver when I was still working, but I didn't start mixing in new traffic strategies until I could do it without being overwhelming, until I could do it without it being a huge task or being something that was, going to take me a ton of energy, or, it is going to take a ton of energy if you're trying to mix in new platforms. And then also, you're not starting over. So if you have 24,000 followers or 100,000 followers on TikTok, you can push them to a Facebook group. You can send them to a YouTube video. So you're not starting over every time. So whenever you're thinking about, transitioning or mixing in a new strategy, you can already move that audience somewhere else. So I know I totally probably squirreled off there, but
no, I mean, that's a great point. Kind of, I think a lot of people try to do too much at the beginning, and it's much easier to build one channel really high and then start sending those people from that channel over to another channel. Like you said, building a TikTok building a TikTok channel or account to a lot of followers, and then inviting everybody to join your text message list, or inviting everybody to join your email list, or inviting everybody to join your Facebook group. Ultimately you're probably getting them on your email list sooner than once you've got a lot of followers, but a Facebook group, or once you got a lot of TikTok followers, you can get them over to a YouTube channel. I think in the beginning, it's almost better. And this is what we teach to be, in our blueprints, to pick one strategy and kind of go all in on that strategy, because you can focus more on mastering that particular platform. And you don't get overwhelmed. You don't feel spread thin. And you can then at a certain point kind of, throw people over to a Facebook group in sort of a supercharged way. Like when you and then all of a sudden, boom, you got 250 people inside of a Facebook group. It feels a lot more powerful for people, than if you're trickling people in one at a time and sort of there's nobody in there. Are you also building a Facebook group?
Yeah, I have a Facebook group. I've been building that for quite a while now. Something I did forget to mention was, like, you just totally remind me, is when you're getting consistency, that was a big thing. Once I started getting consistency from a platform or something like that, that's only when I decided to mix in something else, because, there's no need to go out and try to learn a new strategy or learn a new lesson, because that's going to pull your focus from a broken system. If it's not already working, then you're going to go over here and start trying to learn something else. So that's totally backtracked, but it just totally made me think of that. But yeah, I do have a group. I grew up. I put a big emphasis on my group. I do a bunch of live trainings and stuff like that. I've been building that for a while now.
Cool, man. So anything as we bring this plane in for a landing, I don't usually do this, but I think it might be cool to mix in occasionally. Any questions for me?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I know I've consumed a lot of your content and know a little bit about you. But I guess for the audience or the people that are watching, what would you do? I guess what would you focus on if you had to start over? Where would you put all your energy right now in this day and age?
Yeah. Because I like video, like, so when I got started back in 2009-ish, I did start doing video, but I was like posting video like on Facebook and stuff, which had like zero virality. You know what I mean? Like it was like watching paint dry, trying to get, 10 views on a video. And I really started out with Facebook ads, Facebook ads existed back then as well. I feel like I'm talking like I'm some grandpa or something, but 10 years is a long time, especially in this industry, right? So what I would do, I would go all out 1000% full time on TikTok right now. That's what I would do. Just because of I was reading an article, as a matter of fact, I have it right here. Let me get the Winnie the Pooh memes out of the way. It was an article on TikTok. So TikTok is rolling out longer videos.
3 minutes.
No, well, they may be yeah, okay. Are they 3 minutes? That's let me share my screen. I'll share what I'm reading. So I get these Robin Hood bites, which I don't read these a lot, but occasionally I'm on the email list. It's a Robin Hood from the app Robin Hood. So they'll send out various little things on info on things that are happening in the market. But TikTok's rolling out longer videos, but the real story is its Chinese sister Douyin. But the stats were interesting. So yeah, 3 minutes. They're rolling out 3-minute videos for everyone, a boost from the current 1 minute limit. That means you could learn the full lyrics of viral songs instead of half a chorus. It also means that the nature of TikTok and its bite-sized content could change. So here's some of the shocking statistics. 24 and a half hours, how long the average US TikToker spends on the app each month. Over 30 years, that would be nearly a full year of life on TikTok. It's nuts, dude. More than YouTube. 20 hours, how long US users spends on YouTube each month. YouTube has biased its algorithm towards viewer retention, longer videos, right? So if longer videos lead to higher usage, TikTok could tweak its addicting algorithm to promote long clips, right? So that 24 and a half hours that people are averaging on TikTok right now per month could increase. And then they've got some other stats. So while vids get longer, the wallet is getting fatter. TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance saw sales more than double last year to $34 billion, according to Wall Street Journal, nearly 14 times Snapchat's annual revenue. Even wilder stat, last year, ByteDance reportedly had 1.9 billion monthly users across its platforms, which include TikTok and Douyin, the Chinese TikTok. So like those stats, bro, are pretty mind numbing. You know what I mean? Like pretty hard to comprehend in terms of that particular app. It's 1 in 4 people on the planet are using one of ByteDance's app. That's including people in China who are on the Chinese version of TikTok. But just the way in which its viral nature is, like I'm not on the app right now personally because I don't want to compete with our affiliates. Like that's one thing. I'll probably start talking about that a little bit more in our community because it's a way in which I think a lot of affiliates lately have had sales snatched from them, from product owners who say they have everybody's best intentions in mind. And they're really doing sneaky ass shit, trying to line their own pockets. But that'll be a video for another day. If I decide that I want to get into the drama like that, I usually don't, but certain stuff pisses me off and I stay quiet about it for as long as I can. But anyways, we'll see. To be continued. So, but yeah, dude, if I was just starting out affiliate marketer, I would probably go TikTok just because I feel like it's a unique opportunity right now. And it's one of the reasons why, it's a platform that's allowed like a lot of regular people just to like kind of get that first result, man, which builds a lot of confidence for people. And I think that, that really is special for people early on in their business to kind of get those first results, and or a video go viral or whatever. I mean, even a video going viral was not really attainable for most people before TikTok. Like you really had to be like, you had to be crafty with your content. You had to really know what you're doing, or you had to be comedy or something that was more kind of scripted out, So anyways, that's my answer to that question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, TikTok's life changing for a lot of people. It's like revolutionizing everything. I feel like, um, and the mindset shift becomes real when people are getting those results quickly from TikTok. Is this whole online space becomes it's reality? Okay, this actually works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. So well, keep up the great work, bro, and come back. Keep us posted on your journey. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you, Nate. All right, and stay legendary, my brother.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, dude. We'll talk to you later.
All righty.
All right, see you. All right, well, you guys have a fantastic day. You guys are one, a few of you said, oh, get into the dirt. I don't have any dirt. I don't have any time for people. But here's what I will say to like all of you who are affiliate marketers, particularly new in the business and new in the industry. One of the reasons why Legendary's been around and why I've been around, and my reputation is what it is because because I don't just talk a big game or a good game about how I do right by people and all this bullshit. I just do right by people. Our affiliate program and platform, for example, and I'm talking about our affiliate platform. Sure, we sell products, we sell training. That's our main business. But we also have a lot of people who are affiliates of our company, and we view those affiliates like partners, right? We pay people for all of the sales that a customer ever buys if an affiliate refers them to Legendary. So we don't just pay them on the initial purchase and then go and market them our masterminds and our coaching programs and all this stuff and then just take all that money for ourselves, right? We don't go in here, and market other funnel building services and just take all that money for ourselves. Right. We allow our affiliates to connect their affiliate links for various funnel building tools and autoresponders so they can earn the commissions on those products. You go into some of these people who claim to have your best interest in mind and you start poking around in their membership areas and you realize they're promoting their ClickFunnels links and they're promoting their Aweber and GetResponse links. And they're selling on down the road, the people that you referred to them, various products and services, coaching and masterminds and all kinds of things that they're not paying you on, right? All the while, they're saying we're authentic and we have people's best interest in mind. This is what you'll realize about this industry, especially after you've been in it for 10 years like I have, that the people who claim to have and who need to reiterate and celebrate and try to put in your face how they have your best interest in mind usually are the ones who are doing the sketchy stuff, right? Recently I saw, which I was told and looked at a few things, some gurus and goblins out there who are saying, oh, Legendary is going to die and this and that, and we're taking shots at us, and not only is Legendary, this month had a record-breaking sales month, right? And are nowhere even close to dying. But who needs to market like that, right? Only somebody and people who typically have something to hide, right? Who want to get your attention over here so they can put their own affiliate link in their TikTok bio. And as you're going around as an affiliate spreading their message and their name, when those customers and that traffic comes over to look at that person's TikTok profile and clicks their affiliate link in their TikTok bio, guess who gets credit for the sale? That's called stealing, where I come from, right? That's called stealing, right? Stealing sales from affiliates, right? But if you're new and you look up to people because they're out there creating content on TikTok and YouTube and being cool and being funny, then we want people so desperately to be good people. We want them to have our best interest in mind. But unfortunately, most of the time when people are talking about how great they are and how much they have your interest in mind, a lot of times they're doing the old banana in the tailpipe, right? Which I've seen over and over and over again over the past 10 years. I've seen this sort of guru and goblin game being played, right? Being played for people over the course of the last 10 years, okay? And you know what? It's all good, right? Because we live and we learn, and we get a chance to be able to decide who we want to associate ourselves with in this industry. And it's just, we learn the game, we learn the ins and outs, we learn how we learn how this business works, and we learn, who are the people that we want to be connected with and associated with. And one of the reasons why I'm not out on TikTok, I'm not, as somebody who our company has so many different affiliates, so many different people who are promoting and sort of partnered with our company. I want to give everybody as much of an opportunity to be able to succeed as possible. So I don't want to be out competing with our affiliates. I don't want to be having my affiliate links and my Instagram and my TikTok profiles, because trust me, if that's what I wanted my focus to be, was to go out and build a big TikTok channel instead of making sure the foundation of this company was strong for you guys, and I could certainly do that, right? And I could create some awesome, compelling content and have lots of followers, not because I'm, any more talented than you are, just because I have more experience doing it, right? So and you'll have that same experience after you've been doing it for 10 years too. But I don't want to be in competition with our affiliates. I don't want to be in competition with my affiliate link in their bio. And if I ever do have a link in any of my profiles, it's not going to be an affiliate link, right? And here's the other thing. A lot of times people make mistakes. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know how to lead affiliates. They don't know how to they don't know how to not step on people's toes, right? They're new. They're green to it. It's the first time they're doing it. And that's okay too. I'm not saying that everybody has bad intentions. And it's one of the reasons why I don't go after people or try to badmouth people or look at other people as even competitors. I actually prefer to look at everybody as potential collaborations, not competition. But we have to learn this industry and learn this game, just like you would learn any industry in any game that you play. You want to learn the ins and outs. You want to know what to look for. You want to know and also understand when you're promoting products, and this goes for any niche, right? When you're promoting products in the health space, or when you're promoting products in the dog training or the parenting, you want to make sure as an affiliate that you understand who you're promoting. You understand what's going on. You understand what the relationship and the dynamic is. And last but not least, you want to not step over dollars to pick up dimes. And I always say this, and I'll say it a different way, which is what I just said. Don't step over dollars to pick up dimes. Play the long game. If you guys are out there building a brand and building a channel like Nate and I talked about today, where you're building a Facebook presence or a TikTok presence, that is your brand, right? So I know it may be tempting to do cash grabs, and I know it may be tempting to just sell things that that you can make a quick buck with because it's an irresistible offer. But the truth is if the person that buys from you doesn't have an amazing experience, if it was overhyped and underpromised, and there's not value, there's not life-changing value that's exchanged for the money, then you've blown an opportunity to have a long-term relationship and maybe even sell something and make more money by helping that person with solutions and suggestions and recommendations, or even your own courses or coaching. I've had people who didn't buy from me anything for years, but because they see that I'm continuously delivering value, I'm not going anywhere, I'm consistent, and I do what I say I'm going to do, eventually 2 years later, they pop up, they're on the email list, or maybe they follow me on Facebook or something, and they say, oh yeah, okay, now I'm interested in what you're doing now. And that happened to me also when I was strictly doing affiliate marketing for years. That happened. I had people on my email list that would just watch me and watch what I was doing and look to see if I was going to be saying something different this week and being somebody different next week. And eventually they said, hey, look, like I can see this person's playing the long game. They're a hell of a lot more consistent than I am. Let me buy something from them because they've proven to me I just need a little bit more time to marinate on this decision, So play the long game. Don't step over dollars to pick up dimes, and understand your reputation in this industry is everything. It's everything. Over the course, I'll say this and be done. I've had people who have over the 10 years, and I've been blessed enough to work my ass off to be successful in most things that I've done. Sure, I've had failures, but I just see them through until I'm successful. Well, there's going to be people who are going to trash you along the way. The more successful you get, the more people are going to trash you. The more people are going to try to take shots. And my experience has been that if I just keep my head down and I don't get into the weeds, I don't get into the drama, I don't respond, because that's usually just what they want. They can't drum up enough attention on their own. That's how they're trying to drum up. So I'm not going to just give them free marketing. I'm not going to just say their name and give them free publicity. I'm just going to stay focused. I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to let my actions do the talking. And you know what's happened, man, is that by only focusing and talking to my customers and my team, which Legendary's got nearly 100 people on the team. I got enough people to talk to, right? If I want to spend energy, I spend it on my customers. I spend it on our team. I spend it investing in the people who are invested in us. Eventually, what doesn't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. And eventually, long-term, people say, damn, at first I believed what was being said about Dave, but then I just saw what he did and how long he's been standing in his own truth and his own business and been doing kind of the same thing, right? Mr. Consistent. And eventually people get to decide for themselves, right? Who you are by your actions, not by what you say, right? And that again plays into reputation. Reputation's everything in playing the long game in this business. There's enough bottom feeders. There's enough people hanging out at the bottom being crabs, right? Trying to pull people down. There's enough bullshit. There's enough gurus. There's enough goblins. There's enough, toxically positive people. Toxically, they're so positive, they're toxic. They don't show you the reality of what it's like to be in business or be successful in business. It's always the little clip, the short clip. It's never the long form conversation like we have here 5 days a week. It's always just a little clip, right? The toxic, happy clip on Facebook or TikTok. You don't get to see or hear what the person believes or their values or how they run their business. But what's happened with me, my experience, and it was hard at first over 10 years, has been just keep your head down and stay focused, right? Just keep your head down and stay focused, play the long game. So I would invite everybody that's listening and watching here who's feeling squirrely or feeling like, maybe this is not working out. Understand you've probably been in the game for just a little bit of time. Give yourself a chance for your seed to get watered and blossom, right? and remember some of these principles that I've talked about over the last couple of moments, because your reputation, how you treat people, and if you want to have a product and you want to have affiliates, how you treat those affiliates and how you even sacrifice sales for them to be able to make money would be an example of playing the long game and putting other people first and delivering value and being true, right? You want your words to match your actions, right? So with that being said, get out of here. Have a great day. Have a great Friday. I got a long list of stuff to do today. I hope you do too. And we'll see you back here again at 10 a.m. Eastern time, just like every other Monday, for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. Peace.